Brian, you said something there that's stuck out to me, that you miss boxing now. And I've worked with a lot of boxers, and what I've found is the business of boxing is more brutal than the sport, because there's no union, there's no kind of representative body to support you during the career as such, when you go from amateur to professional. But then when you hang up the gloves and you're finished, you have nothing. Is it as brutal as that?
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, I remember just when I kind of decided to quit, you wake up next morning with no, just like all your goals and your motivation is taken away, because you used to go, I'm going up to train here, go to the gym, you've all something planned, but then obviously you've got nothing to do. It's crazy. Like, I had a family at the time, I had young kids, like, and yeah, having the kids is great and all too, but coming from fighting and coming fighting in front of people, it's a big change, and that's it was mentally tough, and I think that's why you hear about a lot of depression and all with ex-athletes. All of a sudden you're going from fighting in front of thousands of people to sitting at home going, oh, kids are squealing, making dinners, washing, real life. Yeah. And it is tough, and that's why I find going into business with the gym, it's kind of saved me. So it's definitely saved me mentally, because that focus, and also that's why we do boxing in the gym too, because one of the things that keeps me in contact with the sport as well, even though I'm not really training fighters and in the business end of boxing. Having not just been able to train people in boxing, it's been a lifesaver for me, like mentally, definitely.
But do you feel like it was a massive identity shift for you? Because if I just think back to kind of leaving, doing the breakfast show with Stephen, even just leaving that, I'm still doing radio stuff here and there, but it's not, so much of my identity was Stephen and Cate, and then for you it was the boxing. So you were everybody was looking at you, and you were walking into the ring, and you were the focus of attention and everything, and then now that's gone. Was that a big adjustment?
Oh, definitely. It's sometimes with boxing too, it can be a bit of pride as well, where like, so when I injured myself one time early on in my career, and I kind of started having to go, what am I going to do here? If I can't box again, the next thing you're looking for jobs, going, God, I can't qualify, I can't even get that job, I can't get that job.
Were you actually looking for a job at one point?
Yeah, it's like, I do we're tight on stuff like that, I'm going, Jesus, I can't do anything. And the pride of going to do a simple job,
a 9 to 5,
a 9 to 5 job, coming to the boxing, like going, you had to go for that and drop your ego and do that, and then so to have the gym, it's nice to have something of your own, especially all your hard work you put in the training and stuff like that there. It is nice now, but there's no doubt about it. It's been hard work, and I've had to kind of grind in, and there's been ups and downs.
Obviously it's a kind of natural progression from boxing into, but and this is what I say to people. Yes, I'm a makeup artist, but being a business person is completely different. You can be great at training, but how do you make the transition then into being a successful businessman?
Yeah, it was tough, because I have no business experience beforehand.
Exactly.
Nobody in my family has, so there's nobody I can really go to. My kind of manager and stuff, I would ask wee things about and stuff like that there. But apart from that there, you learn as you go along.
We're winging it.
Many mistakes, yeah. But I haven't made too many mistakes, but I always thought I would have had about maybe 5 gyms by now, type of thing, like a chain. I don't want a chain, because it's just something in you. When you're a boxing sport too, you always aim high. Where you fall low, just aim high. So like I wanted to have a big chain, but still working on it. But I never know. But things are going really well at the minute, and I've kind of have it easy now. To be honest with you, like I'm just working a bit lower hours, but like it's good, and you love what you're doing. You know what I mean? But it has been a lifesaver for me, and I probably appreciate it all as well.
Do you find that discipline that you learnt in boxing and that has helped you as a businessman in terms of because no one likes doing admin, no one likes doing the boring stuff of running a business, but it has to be done.
Yeah. No, 100%. Just showing up every day. Grinding in. There's times when you kind of get it easy. You can take time off, but there's times where it's all left on you. It's all dumped on you, and that's where the kind of resilience of the boxing training always steps in, especially when you're faced with bills, you face this, not panicking and just kind of grinding in, getting on with it. So it's definitely helped.
Yeah, I think like me and you, and I think it's good to talk to other business owners as well, because people have no idea what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They just see you there, they think you're doing a wee boxing class, and that's it. Yeah. It's like you've no idea. It's like people see my products on a shelf, they've no idea the process to get them sitting there.
Especially if you're doing it all yourself, you're sourcing everything.
Because you have all your merchandise and all too, all your boxing stuff, and
it does come with that too. When you're ordering, when you're ordering so many thousand, and then next time like COVID happens, I have like 1,000 boxing gloves sitting in the loft, and it's just sitting there gathering dust, but it's worth much money as well. Stuff like that there. But it's hard. But it's a learning curve. But definitely the sport. I think sport learns a lot of things in real life as well. So there's lessons to be learned, through sport that will help you in life, no matter what level of sport. Even going to the gym, as you say, be a powerlifting and all and stuff like that. There's wee things out there you can take from it, and you can apply it to your real life, day-to-day jobs, day-to-day life.
Yeah, like Ciaran, you were a powerlifter. That was your. Would you say that was your main?
It was played a big part in my adult life. It really did. That's all I kind of really knew for 5 or 6 years. I just competed 5 times a year and didn't miss training and force fed myself. I had a tunnel vision of getting strong, but a lot of things went to the wayside, including time away from kids. You become selfish in a way because you're very, very focused on a goal. And but I've no regrets either. It was a part. I just see everything now.
It's who you are now.
I did.
And it's very tough, like an amateur sport like that, because it's different for me when I was a professional boxer because I'm getting paid to do it as well.
Yeah.
So the goal is obviously, at least when I do something, I'm going to king. But I don't know about weightlifting. Amateur sports, other sports like that.
Some funding, but it was expensive. It was actually an expensive sport to be in. Yeah, it did cost you money, and then you can't really justify it after a while.
You're so far away from your family. You're going, well, why are you wasting so much? We're not getting anything from it. And that's they're always against you as well by saying that. Yeah, because I've had that there even when I was boxing as an amateur, if you know what I mean. We had a bit of funding, but then when the funding got took away, that's why I ended up going to professional as well, because we went that well, can't survive like this year.
What I wanted to ask you was, see from like a 10-week training camp till the fight, obviously it consumes your life for 3 months or whatever. How much of it, obviously it's very physical, how much of it is mindset? How much of being a boxer and fighting and preparing is all in the mind?
Oh, most of it. Like, my dad used to say 70% mental and 30% physical, but like there's a massive physical side. You have to be ready, but mentally getting up every day, going to train every day, especially if you've got a hard day in the gym. As I say, when you start sparring and you're getting a hiding day after day, because you're weight trained also, you're trying to make weight. I used to have to make 12 stone. You know what I mean? So you're getting down to 12 stone, you're going to the gym, you're like dead, and these sparring partners are in the hotel. You're paying for their hotel, and they find out they're eating meals, having dessert
in the spa all before the fight.
And I used to spar these two brothers. And they used to come down to my guys, they used to be in the gym and they used to be talking to each other, right, you get in first. One was a fighter, one was a kind of a boxer, and then they started the game plan against me. One fighter goes, you get in first, time out, and then I'll get in and give him a hiding for the next 4 rounds. And then I used to say, after a while, I got wise, and I go, no, hold on, get him in first. And I went first because, good days, you might buy how good days were. Someday you got to hide and they go, right, I'm going to get him next day. So I'm driving down the car going, right, this is what I'm going to do today, I'm going to get him today. So, it's just part of it, but you gotta make it fun as well. But also,
so you just said something there. You were driving down the car, you were visualising. So how much visualising is involved?
Oh, massive. Visualise everything. Visualise your performance, especially before you get closer to getting the fight. You visualised everything. Visualised anything you want to improve on. Visualise it as well. Like after training, say after the day's fight, I just would have maybe thought for a wee while, for half an hour or so. Think about what you're doing and trying to reinforce it into your mind and your body, and then I just forgot about it. But then the next day, as I say, preparation started when I left the house in the car, going down to the spar. It wasn't just one day getting in the gym going, right, start preparing now. It was an hour before.
I love that.
Visualization. And it's the same even in business. You have to visualize. You're saying, I want I was going to say a fleet. You want a couple of gyms.
Yes.
A chain, that's what I can't even chain a gym. Right, you want a chain of gyms, so you got to visualise that first before it's going to happen. We had to visualise your ass being sitting here before we get this interview. But it's the power of that, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And it's like really saying, like I've had it for a long while. Next thing, all of a sudden, things might fall in place for me, and I might have 5 gyms. But people think it's instant, but don't see it's like boxing. I started from 12 years old till 38. It's a long process, so to get rid of. Yes, there's some people probably who are so lucky and it does happen quick for them, but yourself, it's a long road, it's a life.
Yeah, it's that one. It takes years and years and years to become an overnight success.
Yeah. I find as well, as in Northern Ireland, it is hard because it's such a small place. Sometimes you had, I always find, even the gym, the wee kind of things I've set in place in the gym. If you were somewhere else with more people like America, I have a friend in America, he's got two gyms now, going really well. And if you have that package in a country where there's more opportunities, more people and all, it will go a lot better. So here is a hard place to be successful, and in business as well, it's a hard place. So if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Heard that before?
Frank having a wee.
So here, if you had been turn back the clock to that 12-year-old boy who went to the boxing club. If you hadn't done that, what would you be doing now? What do you think you would be doing?
Do you like golfing?
Yeah, I wanted to be a professional golfer. Before I knew I wanted to be a boxer, I wanted to be a professional golfer. And I remember in the summertime, that was my thing in between boxing from, I was doing your school. In the summertime, I used to get dropped off with my packed lunch and a few quid and just play golf all day, and then get picked up again later at night time, and then that was it. I wanted to be a golfer. I got down to like single figures in the golf, but then boxing took over. It was just, my dad and all loved boxing and stuff like that there, and it was just that drive dragging you into the boxing.
Is golfing primal?
Golfing.
Just personally, I've never.
They're very
played,
different
so I
sports,
don't
aren't
know,
they?
But
Yeah,
gee whiz.
but I loved it as a kid playing golf for a while. I just loved golf. Really,
Do you think golfing is a little bit more kind of obviously it is. It's a lot more calm, or maybe it was the both of them. Maybe it was the
sport or something that you had to worry about. But now it's more, it's hip and cool and all that. And obviously there's more girls. I'll get my daughter plays golf now.
Yeah.
She's getting into it and stuff like that there. But yeah, and plus the thing about golf, you can play till you're 60 and still be, you know, thing. But
maybe it was the balance of the two for you growing
You're not
up.
getting punched in the head in golf either.
Exactly, yeah.
Maybe the odd
Couldn't
golf
sit
ball.
here with a fake American accent now, talking to us about your golf career.
But even if you're not as good as Ryan, or even like, you know, you can still be making a living at it and surviving like way down the line. So you can't. So it's, you know, that's what I would have liked to do if I wasn't going to be a boxer. I'd like to be a professional golfer, but you know, I wasn't fat there.
I wanted to be a dancer on top of the pops. That's what I wanted.
Right,
Yeah,
I'd love to say you could still do that, but it doesn't even exist
You could
anymore.
be a ringer.
It's got the moves, like.
I could, couldn't it? I'd like to do it for the darts, actually.
The darts.
Need to get smoke a few cigars and then do the darts voice.
I think that was a very good question, because you said earlier you moved to Poglass.
Yeah.
And I think that age of kind of 15, 16, 17, you were obviously out running, you were training, but you probably had a lot of temptation or friends around you drinking and doing other things.
100%.
So
You saying that, I see friends now, and they'll be saying to me, God, I remember you used to be out running all the time, we were standing by our carrots, or, you know, I had to hang out with my friends too, but not had a carrot type of thing as well. But at the time, my friends were pretty good. After a while, they realised they were boxing. At the time, they would go, come on, have a drink, because they felt left out, but then they were more supportive. And then now, obviously, they're older and wiser. They're going like, God, fair play to you, that was brilliant. And they see the results why you were kind of doing that. But yeah, that's the kind of things when you're a kid, you've got so much pressures to kind of go off with your friends and do this and that there. But I had friends that were boxers too as well, so that helped a lot as well once I hung
Yeah, birds of a feather flock together, isn't it? So you had your other boxer friends, so that was your normal world, and they were just kind of...
Yeah, so I had a good mix rather than just one side who were always dragging you.
Yeah.
There's
still a lot of discipline not to go the easy route and drink, or, you know, it's still up here, isn't it?
But do you think it helped that there was, because it was a boxing club in the community you were part of, wasn't it? There's quite a lot of those around Belfast.
Inside Belfast alone, there must be like 50 boxing clubs, maybe more within the space of maybe a 10-mile radius. There's so many boxing clubs. Boxing clubs is known for in the private areas because there's nothing else there for them. Obviously, it's kind of slowly changing now, and boxing clubs are so underfunded. Like we were talking about underfunded, you've gone to my old boxing club, Holy Trinity, was probably the best in Ireland, I would say. It's a gorgeous club. The Hawkins family have built it from scratch, but it's been years of work to get it where it is now. Obviously, it's sitting lovely. But you know, you go to the extreme that St Agnes' boxing club, where I finished off my sports training. You walk in, you know, the walls are wet, soaking wet with damp and stuff like that there. You know, this is the type of, I think that's why probably if you walk in the gym you go, oh my God, are you training?
And funny, we spoke about
a nice looking gym.
Golf and boxing.
Yeah.
There's more, I looked at this before, there's more boxing clubs in West Belfast alone than the rest of Belfast, Antrim and County Down put together. But obviously deprived area, but one golf club in County Down got a 3 million cash boost, whereas there's boxing clubs and housing estates in Belfast and there's paint falling off the walls. It's a huge gap in funding.
Oh, it's amazing. Even we were amateur boxers, there was no funding, but we went away to competitions. It was also us bringing back the medals. So it was us bringing the money into Northern Ireland sport as well, because what did Northern Ireland get? They got all year they got so many golds, so many silvers, but it was mostly all boxing. Maybe they would be.
They do well in shooting as well, fighting and shooting.
That's actually it. They come off games with all boxing medals, shooting medals. I think there would be something else here there, but that was it. Yet next time we came to funding, the boxing was left out. You know,
it's weird, isn't it? But they're starting to get it now.
It's changing now, yeah. The down south have a brilliant, they've got high performance and also this here. Up here now also has well. I'm not too sure, but it is definitely a lot better, so it is. And it's deserved because they get the results all the time.
I think Frampton and Conlon and Paddy Barnes, when they started becoming more media savvy and they had more attention on them, I think people people then got a wee bit embarrassed as why is these kids not getting funded when they're putting Belfast on the map worldwide, aren't
That's
they?
it, yeah. It was like myself, when I first turned, it was like myself and Damien Kelly. We were the only two guys from the same boxing club qualified for Olympics. You had to qualify then. Before, it used to be if you just won the Iron title, you got to go to the Olympics. But me and Damien qualified, so we did. And then we started getting funding then. And then after that, it started getting better and better and better, so it did.
What Olympics was that?
London 86.
I mean, how was that experience?
Oh, amazing. Like, especially in America, they just do it bigger and better everywhere. Even in the village, you had Muhammad Ali walking around, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, David Hasselhoff. We actually trained with no Duff Ingham.
Yes.
No
way! We look across and
The
there's Duff
Russian?
Ingham training Rocky Ford. Even Drago, he's training away. He was
Are you kidding me? So when was this? 1996?
96, yeah.
You must have, your head must have been blew off your shoulders.
We're down training.
Growing up with Rocky Four, being a boxer, and there's the friggin'
There's your
Russian.
man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. He released the movie Erase or something. We all went into the big stadium, watched it, and he was there and I said, always as class it was. And then the boxing's so popular in America too as well. The arena was just packed every night they fought. I had 3 fights in the Olympics. Like, I got beat for a medal, but still had 3 fights, but it was still an amazing experience.
Wow.
What was it like as a boxer to see Muhammad Ali just casually walking about?
Amazing. I got to meet him after that, so that I fought in the Muhammad Ali World Cup. So World Challenge, I actually won the gold medal.
Wow.
So I was probably one of the best times in my life. Like, so it was, yeah. Muhammad Ali was my hero as well, but he's probably the only one I've met really famous who, you know, you always go, well, maybe you're bigger, the better.
Yeah.
He was just amazing.
All he was cracked up to be.
Yeah.
He's the greatest for a reason, isn't he? Inside and outside the ring, what he done?
Yeah, amazing. And Parkinson's all too. He still had a bit of Parkinson's all too, but you've seen through all that, just seen him for who he was. Yeah, it was fantastic.
So what's next?
What's next for me? Today, school runs. I'll just keep going. I kind of took it easy with COVID, get through COVID and stuff like this here, and then kind of move on from there. Hopefully get the
Get me into the ring.
This rest done me good. It's kind of give the hunger back again for business and all too. Sometimes you need to be breaking this step away, and then you can drive on, drive forward. You know.
Get your inner faith going again.
Because you always have it in you, and I always have it to kind of want to push on. And I've had a couple of times where I've wanted to push on. I've wanted to move gym just before COVID. I was just about to take a step and move into far bigger premises, like nearly 3 times the size, and then COVID happened and it all fell through. So these big knockbacks, it's just about getting above the floor again and picking yourself up again and not giving up.
Comeback's always bigger than the setback.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, it's probably turned out a good job as well. So I think somebody must be looking after me, because if I hadn't moved and then COVID happened, I couldn't have supported the whole big move and everything. So, you know, probably would have been a sunken ship by now, but, you know.
Trust the process.
This is it. What will be will be. What's for you, and if it passes, I would say. You have to have these wee beliefs too as well, and they all help push forward.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on what you're up to.
So where are you? Tell anybody watching if they're like, we want to hang around with this guy. Where do we go training?
Gym all the time, yeah. Magee Health and Fitness Gym. Get me on Facebook or Instagram. Or just call in the gym.
So there's the gym. Tell us a little bit. There's the gym. There's classes. You have yoga, spin, boxing.
Yeah. Loads of kids camps and all now starting up as well. We actually have to get to the stage again where we need to kind of look for bigger premises, because there's so much more we want to do, but we're restricted for space and all too now. But it's all good.
And you're just off Kennedy Way.
Just off Kennedy Way, yeah. So it's far easier, just off the motorway. 2 minutes from the road, it's easy to get to.
Right behind St Agnes's Boxing Club, isn't it?
Right behind St Agnes. I've kind of come full circle in my boxing career. I started off St Agnes's, then went to different places, but then ended up in St Agnes's. So
with your own place,
full circle there.
Brilliant.
So it's funny the way you just in the back where you started type thing, isn't it?
And you've a long way to go. Another couple of exciting chapters to come.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. Always try to rewrite new chapters. Never stop writing.
That's it.